friends, it's Miss Bickel here with your 6th acting lesson. Woo! You're probably looking at my shirt, right? I got it from school. I thought it should make a little appearance in one of these videos, so here it is. Today, I am talking about nailing an audition. So today, it's going to be a little bit different for this 6th episode. Now, you should definitely warm up, especially before an audition. I just want to put it at the end so we can get to the tips a little bit faster, so we can keep the pace going now. Also, right after all of these tips, I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of an audition for you. Eek! Now, say you find there's an audition coming up. What do? Maybe it's your first audition ever, maybe it's your 1000th audition. Still, remember the basics. Before you even think about stepping into that audition room, you should do your research. What do I mean by research exactly? You should know exactly what is expected of you before even thinking about doing anything else. If you are doing a monologue, do you need to have a dramatic or comedic monologue? Monologue meaning a section of script that you recite just by yourself. Often you will be asked to do 2 monologues to show a little bit of range that you can do. If you have to sing, what does it need to be from? What is the show? If it's singing, do you need to have sheet music or recording? Make sure you find out how long of a chunk of a song they want you to prepare. Sometimes they're very specific and they tell you how many measures they want you to sing. Maybe it's a 16 bar cut or a 32 bar cut. If you're not sure what the bars are like or measures are like in your song, ask for help. Always be ready to do more than what they need, but prepare for exactly what they want. Is there any kind of dancing? What kind of dancing? Research the show. Research your character you'd be going for. Are you even right for this show or this character or this audition? If anything, make sure what you're preparing is actually appropriate to the genre of the show you're doing. Say you're doing a super dramatic play like The Crucible, and you have this really peppy, happy-go-lucky monologue. Doesn't quite fit. They probably won't even consider you. Also, just say you go in there singing a song that Mama Rose and Gypsy sings and you're 15. That's not quite age appropriate. You want to make sure whatever you're preparing is appropriate for your age, what you can read as even, and what the show genre is. A big tip that most people overlook is read the script. Actually look at the play you're auditioning for. Actually understand the character you're going for. Go a step further. Find something you relate with that character. Find out who's directing the show. Know what they're looking for. Know their style. Know how to just be before you even go in there. Now it's time to prepare for your audition. Make sure you show your range. Don't choose something just because it's easy. Don't choose something just because, oh, this is very me. Oh, I can do this, no problem. Show that you are the best person for that part. Make sure you show your personality. Really show that, this is you. You were born for this. Most people, when they watch something, they try to copy it. Try not to watch other versions. If you have to because you have no access to anything else, okay. I don't mind myself watching a bunch because what I like to do is I like to see what other people have done and, what can I do that's different from them? And be sure to make it your own. For instance, if you're going for Fiona in Shrek, what makes you more special than Sutton Foster? What makes me want to watch you and not just turn on her recording? Now, like I said, really connect with the character that you're going for. Find something in you, maybe it's a small something, but find something in you that really makes you go, I can bring life to this. And especially with the monologues, you write out the beats. The beats, we talked about in a past lesson, those are the moments where the character kind of pauses and switches the emotion, switches the intention. I need to go to the store. Did you? There's a total different change there. There's a total beat. I like to do kind of like a little line every time I find one. And then you have to memorize it. Memorize, memorize, memorize. Memorize by yourself. Practice when you're alone. Practice in front of a mirror. Really get all those words down. But memorize before you show up to an audition. I hate when people have paper in their hands and they can't actually emote or do anything. Now, a big tip, do the opposite. Do the opposite of what is obvious. We talked about this also in a past lesson. Do the opposite of what you think you have always seen or what most people would do or common sense. Do the opposite. Try something different. Now, once again, if you are doing something for musical theater, you need to make sure you have a book. Here's mine. I've used it for years. I have my name on it. I always have the 3-hole punched sheet music handy. Make sure the song that you're going to perform is ready to go. And with any of the necessary cuts marked very clearly in the music. Sometimes if they like what they hear, they'll ask for another song. Sometimes in another genre. You have to make sure you have all of these things ready and ready up here. Just because you have it in your book doesn't mean it's up here. I have a resume handy, and usually on the back I have my headshot. Headshots are usually 8 by 10 inches, and you want to make sure that you have yours in color or black and white depending on what they want, and make sure your name's on it. Yes, this one's kind of an old one. I was still a blonde. I get them made every time I need them. Photos are expensive, yo. Now, like I said, for your resume, you want to make sure it's just 1 page. Try to keep it simple. If you do more than that, they're probably not going to look at it or they'll think you're full of yourself. Make sure the day before you have a good night's sleep. There's nothing like trying to perform with a tired voice and a tired body and that tired mind too. That's why warm-ups are so important, especially if you are a little bit drowsy. I'm sure you've heard drink lots of water before you perform, drink lots of water before you sing. It means nothing if you didn't have water already days before the audition. Make sure you hydrate leading up to the audition. Okay, the big day comes, your audition. What did you have to make sure you did before this day and on this day? There's nothing like scrambling for an audition. That'll just give you extra nerves you just don't need. In that audition bag, you should have that book I mentioned. You should have more water. You should have maybe headphones so you can listen to yourself that you had recorded so you can practice your lines or practice your song. Maybe you have dance shoes ready to go for the dance audition. Whatever you need, make sure it's in that bag, ready to go. Make sure you have an outfit to wear that is perfect for the audition. If you have a dance audition and what you're wearing doesn't quite work, make sure you have something to change into in that audition bag. So make sure that what you're wearing isn't just, make sure it looks good on you. Make sure that you sell yourself well. Don't wear a costume. Yes, it's theater. Yes, we appreciate theatrics. But you come in wearing a costume, you're kind of begging desperately for that role. Try not to pigeonhole yourself by showing up wearing something that a specific character would wear. Don't dress for the character, dress for the attitude that you're trying to portray. If you dress exactly how the character would, they will only see what you're showing them and they can't really imagine you as anything else. Make sure you show up promptly. Show up early if you can. Not too early unless you know it's going to be a long wait and a long line. But make sure you show up before the audition time. Make sure you warm up before going into that audition room. Warm up those 3 parts: your mind, your body, and your voice. Embrace those nerves. If you're a little nervous, it means you care. That's a good thing. Embrace it, channel that energy and make it come out of you. Exude that energy, not keep it up inside. Seriously, I have stage fright. I swear, I do. Honestly, in order to get past that, you just have to breathe, calm yourself down, know that whatever happens, happens. Those nerves mean you actually want to be there and you want to do your best. What's wrong with that? Make sure even before you step foot in that audition room that you are pleasant, you're kind to the other people that are waiting. Be pleasant to the people in the room too, yes. Just be kind all around. If you're a brat before going in there, word will probably get back to them, and that might affect the casting of you. Make sure you can take direction. Starting from when you go in there and people are telling you what you need to do, like I said, be pleasant, but take direction well. If the directors or anyone in there tell you to do a certain thing or change something up, make sure you do it pleasantly. Take criticism. They might make some suggestions and ask you to do it again, or even if they don't ask you to do it again, they're trying to help you in the future. So take anything they give you and say thank you. They did not need to do that. Okay, it's time for the big performance, your audition. A favorite story I heard was about one of my idols, Barbra Streisand. At one of her first auditions, she walked into the audition room. She went over to a chair, sat down, took out gum and put it under the chair. Oh my goodness. She leaves the audition room, and so the auditioners go over to her chair, turn it over to find nothing there. She just pretended to chew gum and stick it under the chair just to make you remember her. By the way, I know for a fact that she also has stage fright. Think about that. Be memorable. I'm not telling you to destroy or deface any objects. She didn't. Just be memorable. Come into the room confidently. Stay polite. Be especially polite to the accompanist. The accompanist, or the piano player, or whoever is accompanying you, they are there to help you. They are there to make sure you succeed and do your best. You need to thank them for that. So when you give them your book with any music that you have, make sure you show them what you need, make sure it's labeled correctly, and make sure when you take it back, you say thank you to them and to the people that are watching you. When you come in, after you do whatever else you need to do, you need to make sure you slate yourself. A slate is when you say your name and you do any introductions that you need to do. Usually it's your name, hello, my name is, the role you're going for, and I'll be auditioning for. And then you say either the monologue that you're going to be performing or the song you're going to be singing. Make sure you also say from what show that is from. Breathe. Take a moment to get in character if you have to. It's okay to even turn around, close your eyes, take that moment. Whatever you need to do to bring yourself some peace before you perform your heart out. Make sure you don't fidget. That's the worst. You can use the space too. Unless they say otherwise, use that space a little bit. Show that you can be a living being on that stage rather than just a recording. When you're actually performing or auditioning, don't look directly into the eyes of the auditioners. Look above their heads. Pick a spot on the wall above them and have it kind of go left and right when you need it to. That mainly goes for a song. If you are doing a monologue, you should be imagining the person you're speaking to. It's pretty boring if you don't have a point to look at and you're all over the place. Picture something you're looking at. Maybe it keeps moving around. If you find yourself wanting to look at the auditioners, they will take it as you seeking approval. That means that you are performing and you're not quite sure of yourself, which shows you're not very confident, and you need to see their faces to know that they like what you're doing. Don't look at them. Now, no one's perfect. You might mess up. Oops. A lot of times, auditioners don't care at all if you mess up. They care if you can recover. If you mess up, you can either ignore it, push through, or you can totally stop and start over after asking permission to do so. Whatever you do, be confident with your choice. Make no excuses. That's a big one. Oh, I'm sorry. My voice hurts today. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a little sick. oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get enough sleep. They don't care. They just want you to not waste their time and show them that it was worth their time watching you. Make sure you sell yourself when you actually get up there to audition. You're here, so do it. You get your book back from the accompanist, thank them, be pleasant, and leave unless they say to stay. Don't linger. Now it's after the audition. You didn't get the part. So you're pretty bummed, aren't you? Don't let it affect you. Don't be bummed. They most likely made their decision in the first 5 seconds of seeing you. Maybe the character wasn't right for you. Maybe they want to go in a different direction. Maybe you gave the best performance you could have. Most of the time, people cast on looks. Every audition is an opportunity to grow. Think of that. Don't be disappointed. You had the guts to get up there and perform in front of other people, usually strangers. That's enough for a pat on the back. I'm going to challenge all of you watching right now to send me a video of your audition. Make sure you slate yourself. You say your name. You say what you're going to be singing. And make sure you say what it's from. Yes, I said singing and not a monologue. Most people, especially you kids that I know are watching from Bear Creek, don't have a monologue handy. Sing a song that you know inside and out, like the back of your hand. You could sing it in your sleep. I don't care how long you want it to be, but I'd prefer a 16 to 32 bar cut of a song or a short song, even if you want to do it a cappella, which means without any background music. I'm fine with that too. But make sure you're acting during that too. If you have a monologue handy, oh my gosh, send that to me, please. But don't be shy. Show me that you tried. Now, the big moment. I'm going to show you a little audition. I'm not going to be doing a monologue. I'm actually going to be doing a song. Now, I would not wear this to an audition. Just saying. Hello. Hi, if you could just play right from this measure that's marked with start here until there, that's the 32 bar break. Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Jessica Bickel, and I will be singing Find Your Grail from the musical Spam-A-Lot. If you trust in your soul, keep your eyes on the goal, then the prize you won't fail. That's your grail. That's your grail. So be strong. Keep right on to the end of your song. Do not fail. Find your grail. Find your grail. Find your grail. Life is really up to you. You must choose what to pursue. Yeah. Set your mind on what to find, and there's nothing you can't do. So keep right to the end. You'll find your goal, my friend. Do not fail. Find your grail. Find your grail. Find your grail. So for our warm-up game today, I'm thinking let's do Button Factory. We gotta warm up those 3 parts, right? You just have to repeat me or say anything when I point at you, okay? Let's start. I'm going to start with a beat. Hello. hello, hello, my name is Joe. Hi, Joe. I have a house, nice house, 3 kids, 1 spouse. I work, where do you work? In a button factory. One day, my boss came up to me and said, hey, Joe, are you busy? I said, no. He said, push this button with your right elbow. Hello, hello, my name is Joe. Hi, Joe. I have a house, nice house, 3 kids, 1 spouse. I work, where do you work? In a button factory. One day, my boss came up to me and said, hey, Joe, are you busy? I said, no. He said, push this button with your left elbow. Hello, hello, my name is Joe. Hi, Joe. I have a house, nice house, 3 kids, 1 spouse. I work, where do you work? In a button factory. One day, my boss came up to me and said, hey, Joe, are you busy? I said, no. He said, push this button with your right knee bone. Hello, hello, my name is Joe. Hi, Joe. I have a house, nice house, 3 kids, 1 spouse. I work, where do you work? In a button factory. One day, my boss came up to me and said, hey, Joe, are you busy? I said, no. He said, push this button with your left knee bone. Hello, hello, my name is Joe. Hi, Joe. I have a house, nice house, 3 kids, 1 spouse. I work, where do you work? In a button factory. One day, my boss came up to me and said, hey, Joe, are you busy? I said, no. He said, push this button with your head bone. Hello, hello, my name is Joe. Hi, Joe. I have a house, nice house, 3 kids, 1 spouse. I work, where do you work? In a button factory. One day, my boss came up to me and said, hey, Joe, are you busy? I said, no. He said, push this button with your butt bone. Hello, hello, my name is Joe. Hi, Joe. I have a house, nice house, 3 kids, 1 spouse. I work, where do you work? In a button factory. One day, my boss came up to me and said, hey, Joe, are you busy? I said, no. He said, push this button with your tongue. Hello, hello, I have a house, nice house, 3 kids, 1 spouse. I work, where do you work? In a button factory. One day, my boss came up to me and said, hey, Joe, are you busy? I said, yes. Phew. That's all, folks. Now remember, keep on making people believe and stay safe. Bye, guys. Nothing like trying to sing at 4